All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I'll bet that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. Listen, I get this question often, and I read something yesterday, and we're going to jump into it. And the question is always about, well, it's not even a question, it's a statement. And I defend the Postal Service quite a bit, but the main question is, does the Postal Service even have a future? And the reason that it sparked me is because so many changes have been occurring. And then I saw this little weird article pop up. And I'm not talking about 20 years down the line. I'm talking about like 5 to 10 at the most, because obviously I try to keep my ear to the ground. Every move that I'm observing at this point, it says the walls are kind of closing in. Now, that's not to scare anybody. There was big news that just dropped, and I'm about to kind of go over this in a second. FedEx cut a deal with Amazon. And you heard that right. The same Amazon that, they have their own trucks, they have their own delivery army. That's not even a debate. They already started pulling away from the United States Postal Service. Now, a lot of people are happy about that, but we're about to come up to the damn holiday season. Think about that. So they just linked again with FedEx. And this is not good. Not for the service that we provide, not for the workers, and I don't see it being good for the future. So I'm going to try to give you some backstories. Some of you have followed me for a while, and some of you are new to me. Years ago, FedEx walked away pretty much from Amazon, and it said it wasn't worth the hassle. And that left pretty much all of their work to the United States Postal Service. And for a while, that has been the bread and butter. The Amazon Sunday, the parcels, the box, the last mile, everything that was heavy. Y'all hated that because it was up to 75 pounds, and they always lied about that. Ugly stuff that nobody else wanted. USPS pretty much was the go-to. But now the tables have turned. FedEx just signed back on with Amazon, a big contract, big volume, heavy parcels, and they're already restructuring their network and closing facilities, merging operations to handle it all. And you know what that means? The packages that used to keep us afloat, they're sliding right over to the FedEx trucks. And the crazy part about that, in my opinion, is, obviously Amazon will not stay loyal. They'll use FedEx, they'll use their own vans, and they'll use whoever else makes sense to them because it's business. But the one thing that is clear, USPS is not first in line anymore. The article reads, FedEx advances Amazon onboarding, touts new customer wins. The large package delivery deal with the e-commerce giant will be fully ramped up by FedEx's fiscal third quarter, Chief Customer Officer Bree Carreri said. It says FedEx expects to fully onboard its large package delivery deal with Amazon by the carrier's third quarter, which runs from December to February. What does that tell you? The arrangement was announced in May, and it had minimal impact on FedEx's first quarter. But once onboarding was complete, the Amazon volume will support continued U.S. domestic revenue growth in the quarters ahead. FedEx will deliver the volume consisting of heavier weight parcels, a part of its ground portfolio. She emphasized that the deal isn't the scale of Amazon's UPS arrangement, which is shrinking as UPS prioritizes more profitable shipments. But here's the thing. I don't know if y'all have been following it, but a lot of what's going on in the government right now, people don't want to ship into the United States. So we're losing parcels coming across all across the board. So the letters started dying. Nobody writes. Everything is on email, online billing, and that specific foundation is gone. Then we had the parcels. And people said that we're going to live off the packages. That's why we got the new vehicles. They're big and ugly. And that's what they told us. But now Amazon they leaned heavy on us for Amazon Sundays, the late nights, the Prime boxes. That was, regardless of whether you think, they were definitely, ripping us off, but that was money. But when they started building their own network, the planes, the vans, their little drivers in the blue vests, you see the little pretty thing with the dimples, they're not even hiding it. They want to be UPS, FedEx, USPS rolled all into one. Anybody knows anything about Amazon? They used to be just books back in the days? Look back at it. It was just books. There was a little bookstore, I forgot, the Kindle or whatever it was. But and that's what USPS needed back then, a partner to lean on. But now Amazon is going back to FedEx. A lot of y'all are probably applauding it, but you don't know. Like the older people, we're probably going to be out before it has a major effect. So what does the history show? So far, every year, the Postal Service is getting weaker and our competitors are getting stronger. And Amazon is the one that's calling the shots. We lost the SurePost, I think it was, SurePost from UPS. Now we're losing Amazon, the big parcels. So back to the question is, the Postal Service, do we have a future? And I'm going to be honest, yes, it will exist, my opinion, because Congress, again, the government, will not let it die. There's too many votes. There's too many laws that are tied into it. But existing is not thriving. There's a difference between just being there and then actually winning. Existing means we're smaller, we're weaker, we have fewer routes, we have fewer full-time careers. More automation equals what? We've been talking about more turnover. So here's a scenario. Check this out. Right now, we're in survival mode. USPS sticks around, but as the carrier of the last mile, last resort, rural routes, government mail, stuff nobody else wants, not profitable, but we're kept alive because it kind of has to be that way. But here's scenario 2, where we're pivoting. USPS actually reinvents itself, which is what this new Postmaster General is trying to do. Expands things like, they're still talking about it behind the scenes. Some of y'all don't know about it, like banking, government services, rural logistics, new technology, taking risks instead of playing defense. But that's the only way to stay relevant. I just found out in my area, we were doing some training up in one of my areas, and the driving safety instructor that was with me told me that because they built a whole new area, damn near new zip code, that United States Postal Service, is not delivering their mail. They have an outside contractor delivering their mail to their cluster boxes. And I was like, what's NALC doing about it? They said, well, she don't have the real backstory behind it, but she knows for a fact that it's delivered by just somebody else, But let me be real with y'all. From where I sit, which is nowhere, we're not showing any signs of a pivot. We're kind of still playing defense, and we cannot win the game. Well, obviously, them stupid coaches we got up top. by playing defense. Nobody wins by just playing defense. You've never seen any sport win simply by playing defense. But let's get into how it affects the workers, the people that are out there, the boots on the ground. So every time a big contract like Amazon shifts away, that's less volume. There's no doubt behind it. And less volume equals less revenue. And less revenue means cuts. There's a lot of people that swear up and down, we will not have any job cuts. I promise you, you don't have to believe what I'm telling you. The statistics are showing it every single day. Fuck the statistics. Go talk to your own unions and ask them. Go to APWU. Hey, do we have less people overall than we did before? I know maintenance is growing, but the clerks, barely. Truck drivers, we're still playing this whole thing, getting our contracts back. But mail handlers, shit. Years ago, people were complaining about too many hours. That's what they were complaining about. Now, there's cuts to hours. People are starving for money. They have facilities that have gotten closed. There's routes that are continually getting cut. And even if you are safe today, what about 5 years from now? What about 10? I remember first talking about this new 10-year plan that these people were talking about. And I remember that one video, people thought I was crazy. Cuss me like a dog. Look, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you the things that I find out behind the scene. And what's literally is all of the time is usually available to you. Some people don't want to believe it, but it's there. It's not just look at one thing. You have to look at the big picture around it. But do you honestly believe that our service will be adding more full-time careers by 2030? Or do you see more turnover? More CCAs, more MHAs, more PSEs, more people that are coming in just grinding for scraps? Again, this is not fear-mongering. This is what the history since COVID basically has already shown us. So let me kind of circle back, right? FedEx just took Amazon back, and Amazon has their own fleet. There's no denying that. UPS is focusing on profits, money over the volume. And the United States Postal Service, we're getting left with the scraps. Ask your unions. I'm telling you, if you have access to talk to any of the sales managers or anything, that's what we're getting, the scraps. So again, the Postal Service, in my opinion, will still be here. But the question is, what kind of Postal Service? Will it be proud, thriving operation, people fighting to get into? No. Or a skeleton system limping along because Congress refused to pull the plug. You have to kind of ask yourself, will this place be around? And is it palatable? Does it look good? Does it look good for everybody else? For employees, the old days of getting hired, staying for 30 years, retire with a pension, they aren't dead, but they are no longer guaranteed. What you do have, though, is a job with security in the short to medium term. One of my own people in my chat group, dude, been there, I'm guessing 10 plus years. He just resigned and got a job doing something else. Mail volume keeps dropping, but package volumes are still climbing. And we're going to need drivers, guaranteed, carriers, some plant workers. But the shift is from letters to logistics. The workers that are willing to adapt to that, to learn new equipment, to get into trucking, to learn about automation, to learn about technology, will be the ones who stay valuable. We're never going to be Amazon or FedEx, but we're never going to go extinct. It's built into the law and is mandated by Congress to serve every address, no matter what, right? That's the only safety net that we have. But the future means transformation. Definitely fewer post offices. They're definitely going to have more automation. It's happening. It sucks, but they're going to have to contract people like she just told me. Their budget is going to get tighter. Their reliance on mail is almost gone. They're going to be on parcels. And they're going to kind of have to do this whole public and private relationship, partnership thing, right? Some crafts are shrinking. No doubt about that. The mail handlers, the clerks, and I don't want to say city carriers may see cuts, but your routes are getting cuts. And there's been consolidations. And as the machines and the routes get leaner, the rural delivery will likely survive because no private company wants to do rural. Drivers and logistics will probably grow. That's just, again, my opinion. I don't know. I hate jumping into stuff like this because it seems like nobody really has the answer, because nobody does. Nobody does. But let me shift off of that into our types of workers. If you made it this far, you know that's kind of my thing. The type of people that we have here, I heard some loudmouth talking about older people need to stay out of their business. Listen, whatever. But I don't know how to say this without sounding like an asshole, but that's kind of my thing. The newer generation is broken up into kind of two different groups. There's the people that come in and they have values and they want to stay and they got the job and they do their thing. And then you have those that are just coasting along, looking at this as, just another job to get them by. And I get it, but those are the ones that are not putting the effort that the people that took 5, 6, 7 years just to get into the post office. It is going to be another video for me, but the whole testing to get in here, the reason they cut to the young people or to the new people that came in, the reason they stopped giving those civil exams is because they don't even have faith that the people that are taking those, it stopped in 2017, 2016, 2015, something like that. They don't have faith that the people that are applying can even pass that. That goes to show the quality of person themselves, that the system does not have faith in us as humans. You look at the old heads and look at what they had to go through just to get in. They value this a lot more than the people that took those little assessments and barely passed. An assessment. You know what those assessments are? And I've said it before. Assessments is just an assessment of your character. That's all it is. An assessment of your character. And those that failed means your character sucks. Clearly. There's people that have had to do 3 or 4 times before they got in. They'll have their friends do it for them. And it's not complicated to do. It's just say, hey, I am willing to work. At the end of the day, that's all it is. I'm willing to work independent and follow the rules and regulations. There's no memory. There's no coding. There's none of that. And people still fail. Everybody wants a handout, etc. But listen, I don't want to drag this on. They stopped those exams because the quality of people just, it is what it is. They give the same type of exam. The same company that gives those exams are the same people that hire people for Walmart and Target. It's the same exact style assessment. Same exact style. What does that tell you? Listen, will it be here? Yes. Will I look at it in 20 years and say, what happened to this place? The same way that people are looking at it now that have retired. And what the hell happened to that place? It used to be something good. And for y'all that say, man, them old heads don't know, y'all ain't do no, y'all. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I just, the quality of workers that we have right now, horrible, horrible. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. You are entitled to it as well, and y'all don't have to like my opinion, and you know, all I hear is talk. And I don't sweat that. Y'all ain't gotta like me either. I respect that. This is JH. And I'm out.
All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet